What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I am your host, Tone Scorpio, and my co host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
This is episode number 71. 71. Look at us go. Um, a lot is happened this past weekend, slash, is going to happen this weekend, so we have quite a bit of stuff in eSports to talk about today. We're not going to kind of bridge out of that too much. We're going to probably stay pretty nut pretty nut, pretty nice and tight.
Huh?
What? Pretty nice and tight. Into esports today.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was a good transition. We went from pretty nut to pretty nice and tight.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, oh shit. Anyway,
Good
sorry.
job.
Thank you. Um, anyway, uh, yeah, I just saw what I was working on, so that's great. You're gonna see it anyway.
I
Anyway,
don't think they. I don't think anybody had any idea what was going on.
probably not.
So it's fine.
Yeah. Don't worry about what I do. Just keep listening. Anyway, um, so we got quite a few things to talk about today. So we're gonna start off with the Halo major that was this past weekend. Um,
That was a good
and
major.
yeah,
That was. There were a lot of like things that were unexpected. There were things that were obviously expected. Um,
I'm gonna let Deception take the lead on this one, just because I did not watch it, so therefore I don't know.
dude, you always like watching the Halo majors,
I
bruh.
do I do like watching them, but I didn't watch them this weekend because I was coming home from spring break, so I was moving my stuff and all that stuff. So,
That's fair. It was the weekend you were having to move everything.
yeah. Yeah, it was Arlington, Texas. So anyway, so this major took place. It was at Arlington, Texas, aka the home of the boys, the Green Wall.
Dude, those pictures they did are sick because when you
Oh
open them,
yeah,
it's like,
it's like three different pictures,
yeah, I love
and
it.
yeah, beautiful work. Optic Gaming social media team. Someone commented, "Give a raise whoever created this masterpiece of a post." I agree, Jared. I agree.
Dude, that's the fun. That's the funny thing is they've done that before.
I like it. So the winners were Space Station. Um, it looks like it. I mean, they're saying it was their first win, like first major cup.
It was their first. They had never won one. They'd come second and third like a billion times, but they'd never won one.
They've been definitely up. They've been up there. Like I always seen them up the top of this game.
Yeah, they were like all throughout last season of Halo. They were like the top three teams by far, by like miles, were
Mm-hmm.
Optic Phase and Space Station. It's just for some reason, I mean, and Dedzon's talked about this on, he talked about it on the Flycast and the Eavesdrop podcast. For some reason, they just could not win. Like they just could not break through to win. They were good. Like they would beat FaZe and Optic like in winners finals or whatever. Like during the tournament, whenever they faced them, they would beat them. But like when they got to grand finals, they just couldn't beat them.
Yep. So now they are the winners. I mean, I mean, I like, as much as I want Optic to win these things. Don't get me wrong, like, Greenwall forever type deal. Um, but it's good to see. I like to see variety. You know what I mean? Like I like to see different um like teams winning different events. It just adds like this level of like variety to the leagues, and I feel like it adds like an entertainment value as well. You
I mean,
know?
it didn't surprise me at all that like Space Station and Optic were the two teams facing. It's just like the storyline of it was so cool because like
Mm.
Space Station dropped Dead Zone, and Dead Zone ended up going to Optic, and then like Space Station, they said it like a million times on the broadcast. Like Space Station said that as soon as they dropped Dead Zone, the only player in the world they wanted was Legend because he was so good when he played on Quadrant. Um, the season before, he basically carried that team, and they wanted him really bad. So they went out and got him. And the thing that I didn't realize um, before grand finals until they mentioned it was an international player had never even gotten to grand finals, much less won a Halo event. So him getting into grand finals was cool in itself, but then they won, and it's like now he's the only international player so far to win in a Halo event.
Oh shit. I mean, pop off. Because I mean, like Halo is definitely like an NA strong
Halo is
esport.
Halo is like been the entire history of Halo is basically NA.
Yeah.
Like there have been a few EU teams, but really like I don't know any like before Quadrant, but like Quadrant was like making some serious like moves in the every tournament they played last season. I think a lot of it was due to Legend, but like Quadrant was a pretty good team. Um, it's just EU has never been very big in Halo. Like in Halo is like NA and that's it basically. Like
It's
but
true.
I mean, it was a bold move for Space Station to sign Legend, even though I feel like everybody saw that coming,
Mm.
especially with the way they talked about him.
Yeah.
It was still, I think, considered a bold move because it's like, when has an NA team took a chance on an EU player? But I mean, it's paying off.
I mean, they just got their first win ever, like in you know, in this game. So I mean, I feel like I mean, the proof is in the pudding, guys. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
So
The biggest thing that shocked me, um, the two biggest things that shocked me the whole tournament is there were a couple teams that really hadn't gotten super duper far.
mhm.
Um, in events before, or teams that hadn't even really like made it into the main part of an event before that made it really far. Um, like
But
Shopify Rebellion has been around for a while, but they've never been that great. Like they'll be like top 8, but like they finished top 4, I think, this event, which is crazy. It's
for
really good for them.
for those of you who don't know how Halo esports works, so the first day of the event is just like straight up just pool play, or like just like you just play against everybody in the lower part, and everyone just fucking
Which is how it should be done.
yeah. So like like these events like so many like so I think last one of the first Halo events that I was like in the loop for, I think it was like Halo in like Raleigh, North
Yeah, that was
Carolina.
like that was the first event I think of the second season.
Yeah.
Did you? I don't think you
So
watched a lot of the first season.
no. But there was like over like 200 teams there. Um, to try to make it. I mean, obviously, like we keep seeing like the same teams come out, but it gives like this chance for teams like Shopify Rebellion to work their way up. Even though they've been a team for a long time, this is the first time they made it into top four, and remember memorable fashion in
Well, yeah, and there's another team. There's another team called Faux Gaming that I think finished top 8 or something like that. They ended up making it to the actual tournament out of pool play, and like I don't know if anybody ever heard of them before, and they beat Sentinels. Like that's another thing is like there were some crazy upsets. Like Sentinels did not win a series and got kicked out of the pools before they could even play, and like Sentinels has been known to be like basically like that like fourth team that's right outside the top 3, and they got smoked.
damn. It's just I think that's like kind of the way that it should be done with these big major events, like I think that's kind of like the downfall one of the downfalls with the CDL is because of the challengers bracket that they have. Like yeah, you can play challengers is like open, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, Challengers is open, but like there's not really like it's not like the old like CWL and MLG events. There's like
Mm,
no notoriety for winning a
yeah,
channel challengers event. Like you're
no,
not beating pro teams. You're beating formal pro players, but you're not like on main stage like facing off against the best team in the world and then beating them like that.
yeah,
It's not like that anymore.
no. And I feel like it kind of makes them a little less like, um, it doesn't give them as much credit as they deserve. You know what I mean? Because they're still like top, Call of Duty players. You
Well, there's
know,
some very good challengers players, and there are pros that have gotten dropped off of teams that are playing in challengers now. Like Cammy got dropped off
Vance.
of Thieves, and he plays for Boston Breach Academy, and he's been
Mm,
frying. Like he's been doing great.
and then like there's a whole bunch. Like there's so many former like CDL pros that are playing in challengers right now, trying to work their way back up, and it's so hard. Like it took a sim like it took him winning like 3 times in a row for him to get pulled back up or something
Yeah,
like
and he
that.
played in the league before.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been in the league, he's been
Yep.
there, and it's like it still takes him a while to get in.
Yep.
Yeah, the challenger stuff is like I said this to Tone one time, and I would love for this to be the format for a CDL event. It would be awesome. Like I know they probably don't have the resources to bring out. They might have the resources, maybe they just don't want to. But they probably can't bring out like 200-300 teams. But
I mean, if Halo can
for
do it, Call of
me,
Duty can do it.
like for me, I would love to see a 64 team tournament where it's the 12 CDL teams and the top 52 challengers teams. Um, you can reserve some spots for like EU and all that. Like it doesn't just have to be NA. Um, but the top 52 challengers teams. It's a 64 team tournament. You have pools on Thursday, and then the rest either you finish pools on Friday and start the tournament on Friday, or just do tournament Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Um, but the actual bracket is 32 teams, and the pool play is just split between all the 64 teams. But the big rule that I would make to make it sort of like this Halo event is that the CDL teams are not locked in. So like if a CDL team does bad, then they're just gone. Like
Yep.
they're just they're out. Sucks to suck, I guess.
I mean, like, I feel like that's the way it should be. Like, I mean, I understand that these teams have played. I feel like now I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to like get anyone's feelings hurt because I want to see the Call of Duty esports scene succeed so much, right? But I feel like with the way that they've done it, with the buy-ins of the professional like CDL teams, it kind of like guarantees a um it kind of guarantees them to always be able to play. You know what I mean? So I feel like if they were to be kicked out early in a tournament like that, I feel like there would be some sort of backlash from the teams or like maybe like the managers or something or like the business side of it. I feel like from the community would love it. Personally speaking, like as someone in the community, I would love it, but I
That's what
feel
basically everybody wants. Everybody, like every event, talks about how they wish that there was just a CDL open event with as many challengers teams as wanted to go.
yep,
Um, but that just doesn't happen.
nope, never, not anymore. Also, Kale, thank you for the hydrate. Um, it's just
I mean, we've gotten close to it before. There've been like the pro-ams, but they only bring 4 challengers teams. So
yeah, literally. I just feel like, like the CDL kind of just needs to rework their esports approach sooner rather than later because I mean Halo's succeeding. Like Halo is killing it right now. Like they just had a major for 250 grand and I'm sure their viewership was up. Halo esports always has more viewership than game like players in game. Like I don't even like.
oh well, and I think Scump watched some of it,
He did.
so
He
that
did.
probably helped the viewership.
It probably did.
Because
Yeah.
I think he had just as many or maybe more viewers than the Halo stream did.
Yeah. And like, look at these awesome freaking skins that they got going on here for they just released a team skins the other day. So in Halo, but like.
Oh yeah, they dropped the new team skins.
Mm-hmm. For the 2024 season. But like, man, it's just
Oh, dude, do you know what that makes me think about?
hmm,
I'm really sad that I did not get the Envy Halo skin when it was out. That'd be such a rarity now.
yeah.
Because like when Halo first dropped, like Optic Texas was announced and the Optic partnership with Envy was announced before Halo dropped. And Optic Halo ended up getting announced, but it was like a couple months um before the Envy Halo skin, which is what it was supposed to be, got turned into the Optic Halo skin.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been so cool to buy that.
It
Because
would
then
have
it's
been.
like now nobody has it anymore.
Yep.
Because I remember like when the Optic Halo guys first started playing, like the first couple like online events, they rocked the Envy skin on their guns. And I was like,
Nice.
dude, this is crazy.
Well, for the event, they did event commendation winners or whatever. So they did coach, um, best support, best OBJ, and then main slayer. Two of them were optic players. One of them was the space station guy, and then uh, a guy from Rebellion. Yeah, so the coach was from Shopify Rebels, and
Mm-hmm.
then Dead Zone from Optic. That was the new guy.
Dead Zone.
Is this the guy that the new guy that they just picked up?
Yeah, it used to be since you haven't really watched Halo since like last season, he used to be called Penguin. He played for Cloud9 for a while and then he played for SSG last year.
Okay. And then we've got Lucid as best OBJ from Optic, and then Stellar from Space Station as main slayer, which
I
makes
mean,
sense.
if Lucid doesn't get a an award at every event, I that's a travesty because Lucid might be the best player in the game.
Yeah, the man's is insane, and um,
I remember watching. I remember one time I just tuned into his stream one time because he was just playing like pubs.
mm,
He played a pub. He played a Slayer on streets, and so the Slayer only goes to 50 kills. He had
mm,
42 out of the 50 kills.
holy crap, Jesus. Um, but yeah, so that's cool. I mean, I don't really follow um Halo that much. I mean, I try to like keep tabs on it because like, it's esports, it's a big thing. Like, I try to keep tabs in every esport. There's only so many that
Yeah,
I can actually like watch.
yeah.
Like I watch pretty much Call of Duty and Valorant. Those are my main two, and most of the time Halo. Just this weekend I kind of dropped the ball apparently.
Dude, I haven't put a serious amount of time in Halo in over 2 years,
It's not even
but I
downloaded on my
love
computer.
watching every Halo
Oh
event.
yeah.
Like, I feel like that's where Halo's at, is like, I feel like you either don't really play it that much, but you love watching it, or you don't really watch it that much, but you love playing
Mm,
it. And I'm in the former camp. I have not played the game really in like 2 years. I've not
mm.
put up a bunch of time in it in 2 years. But like I will watch every Halo esports event. I love it. That the the esports potential of this game is fantastic.
I mean, it's doing so well. I mean, if you look at it like it I mean,
I genuinely like when we're watching like unless we do like a CDO watch party, I ain't gonna lie, I don't watch the league matches. Like I don't really like watching them unless I watch it with somebody else. Like it's
uh,
not really that fun to watch. But like Halo does these like online open events and I'll just watch those. Like I'll just be like, "Yep, this is awesome."
yeah. Hold on, I'm just like looking at their website. Um, I mean, they have their partnered teams, right? Where they have like the majors and stuff like that.
Who are their partner teams? Because I know that's changed. There have been some teams that have come in, some teams that have left.
So right now it is Cloud9, Complexity, FaZe Clan, Optic Gaming, Quadrant, Sentinels, and Space Station. Are
See, this is
there
so different than
seven?
the original. They had like 15 teams the first season.
Yeah, there's only seven now, which
There's been a lot of people that have come in and left and come back, and
Because the
like
thing is you could do
Cloud9,
this with
I don't think
college.
had a team for a while, and then they just came back this year.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like I think complexity is underneath Fnatic because it's linked to the Fnatic Twitter.
Yeah, they used to be Fnatic. Yeah, that was they were Fnatic when they entered Halo.
Um, but what was I saying? Oh, but see, the thing is Call of Duty could do something like this with their CDL teams. You know what I mean? Like, Optic, Phase, Rocker, Breach, like all these
That's
teams.
honestly what they should do.
They're partner teams where they have, these are the
Yeah,
only places where they hold events. It's sponsored by these partner teams. Like the Arlington one was sponsored by Optic. There's another one in London, which I'm assuming is going to be partnered by another one that I don't know yet. But
yeah, it's gonna be the Quadrant event.
quadrant event, you know? So just do stuff like that. Like it works.
See, that's what I wish they would do, because if they did it that way, they could have the 12 CDL teams be the partnered teams, and only those teams could host events.
Yes.
But like every event, they just let whoever like sign up. So
And
if
there's
there's
two
100 teams, that's cool. If there's 500 teams, that's great.
and there's like two LA teams, so that would be like one event. Like you remember it was like the first I think it was like the first year or something like that. It was
Yeah,
Battle of LA or whatever, where they had like an event there and it was hosted by the two teams.
yeah, that would be sick.
Like if they were to do
That
something
would
like
be
that
awesome.
again, like it was back when it was Optic LA, but we don't have to talk about that. That's the dark age of Optic. Um
Yeah, that wasn't the real Optic.
yeah.
The real
So
Optic was in Chicago at that
yeah.
point.
So, but like, do something like that. Like, that would be beneficial than whatever shit's going on right now. But like, esports in general right now is kind of just a shit show. Like, right now with like Apex this past weekend, they had their like event of the whatever. I don't. Hold on, let me pull it up. But
I don't know.
like,
Isn't Valorant doing like pretty well with their quote unquote franchise system they're
okay,
doing? Like,
so
aren't
Valorant,
they doing pretty well with it? Like,
Valorant.
aren't people happy with it?
Yeah. Okay, so Valorant's like the only one that's actually like succeeding in that right now. Um, I've obviously like Valorant's one of the games that I watch. So they have
I mean, Valorant's one of the biggest esports, so it's probably easier for them to
yeah.
attract teams.
So
But you know,
there's Valorant Masters, which is in Madrid, which I think is going on right now.
yeah, they've been having stuff in Madrid. Yeah, Masters. Don't Valorant events last for like a week?
They
They
last
have like really long events.
yeah. They're like this one's on day 6 is
Yeah, they
um
have really long events
yeah.
from what I can remember.
Yeah, because they have a lot of teams. Like they have their production quality is so good. Like
Well,
so good.
because they want every team to play on main stage. They
Mhm.
don't have like side stages for teams. They want
Mhm.
every team to be on the big screen at all times.
Mhm. Like um just like look at all this like content too. Like they're really like show matches with like Mixwell,
Yeah, the CDO could never do that.
Leviathan, like
CDO could never do
no.
that. They don't want their teams to play together unless they're at an event.
Mhm. And then well these aren't even like players. They're they're creators. You know what I mean? They're players of the game, but they're creators. At heart. Like Kaede is in one of the showing matches, and this is on the 24th new agent show match. Kaede, she, her boyfriend is on Sentinels, but she just plays casually.
Dude, I
So
miss Mixwell.
me too. That man's just insane. He looks good though.
2016 E League Season 2 champion, by the way, for
Yep.
Optic. One of the greatest CS players of all time.
Yeah.
Arguably, like, I think people would say he might be the greatest sniper that's ever played
I
CS.
mean, he's so grown up. Like he grew up. Like he was a little baby. But anyway, like I love watching Valorant. I can't play the game anymore because like I get real ragey. So I have to play it very casually.
Yeah, I that's like all my friends. All my friends that do or did play Valorant, they either weren't really that great at it, so they didn't enjoy it, or they just raged all the
Yeah.
time. That's like everybody I know that played Valorant.
Yeah, like I broke my mouse. playing Valorant, so I kind of have to stay away from it. Um, but Valorant's
Uh,
killing it in the esports world right now. Like their 2024 Valorant Masters Madrid, like killer.
Gen G has a Valorant team. I remember
Mhm.
when they played COD.
Um,
Envoy was
this
on that
is
team in
stage two
BO4.
playoffs for the Valorant Masters. Loud Paper Rex. Uh, they're
I'm sad that Optic didn't get in the franchise side of Valorant.
yeah, yeah, but I mean, we got
All their
we got
players went to
thieves.
good teams though.
Yeah, we got thieves up in there, so
Yeah, we got Thieves and NRG. Those are the two that I
mm,
like.
yeah. But yeah, Genji's got some stuff, and they've got like team bundles in the game now, which is really cool. And they're really good too. Um,
Yeah, I've seen the team bundles. The team bundles are awesome.
yeah, we did that. I think we
Probably the
showed
best team
them.
bundles in esports.
Oh yeah. So like Valorant is killing it right now. I will have to say Valorant is definitely killing it right now. I mean, there's social media awesome. Like look at this shit. They're doing show matches. They're doing content with the players. Uh, they're just their production. Like look at their they're on a stage. Like this is a stage for this
Dude,
shit.
I love the Valorant stage.
Oh
The
my
the
god.
Valorant stage for when they do like the matches is the best.
Cause they have like
It's just like
behind
a
them.
big freaking like bubble that has
Yep.
like the oh, it's
It's
awesome.
got like the center, and then it's got the one team facing the other team, and then you've got like their characters up behind them. It's so I love it. I love it.
The Valorant definitely has like probably the best production.
Yeah. And then when they do the walkouts and stuff like that, like the coaches come out with them. Like it's a good vibe. It's so dope. It pulls you into the matches for sure. I've been lurking. Thanks, Lighty. But yeah, it really does. Like it's so immersive, and their like casters are really good too. And their desk people they're also high energy. Like they love the game, and you can tell. Like you can tell that they love the game and they love being there, and it's just such a high production quality always. And then I think I was watching, it was like the qualifiers for Madrid, and the one of like the main like stage casters, I guess, the stage like commentators or whatever, she, first of all, they have hella women in like in the esports, they may not be competing, I guess, in these in the league, but like as far as like production wise goes, hell of women, love it, love to see
Haven't
it.
there been a couple of them competing?
Yeah, there have been, but
As I've
uh
seen, like I thought I saw like one time when I was watching, there was a woman on one of the teams.
yeah. So Valorant is definitely the place for gender equality. They're like Valorant is killing it right now, and I want to commend them for that.
It's kind of
Um,
funny that's the case in the esports side,
mhm,
considering the typical community that,
yeah.
that plays
I
Valorant.
know. Like if you play
It's kind of
Valorant,
funny,
if you play Valorant, you know that the community is so
dude. I don't even
toxic.
play Valorant. I know.
Like the community is so toxic. Like I've made videos on just how toxic people can be towards women, but
It's just
like,
really ironic because they have so many like women casting, and I think I've seen women on teams before, and it's just
hmm
like the regular Valorant community that probably doesn't even watch the events is probably like they would be outraged.
yeah. But hold on, let me see if I can try to like I don't know. I just really like the way that they do Valorant. Like I love watching it, and I watch it a lot. A lot. Because
There's one woman, I don't know what her name is, but there's one woman that casts that I really like. She's probably the best
is she the
female
blonde
caster
one?
I've ever seen.
Is she the one that's
I don't
blonde?
even know what she looks like. I don't think I've ever seen her face.
Oh. Cuz I mean, hold on. I'm trying to like pull it up real quick for
I don't
like
think I've ever seen her face, but she is by far the best female caster I've ever heard.
yeah, there's like so many cuz like here I already have, we're in the beginning and there's already one. This is 2 days ago. Um I'm trying to get like a shot of the stage. But like this guy, he used to cast for Call of Duty. Hold on. Where is he at? That's not what I wanted.
Who used to cast for COD?
I think because I remember seeing his face. Hold on. He's on the main desk usually. Yeah. It's fuck.
Oh, Golden Boy.
Yeah, Golden Boy.
He
This
he
guy.
casted COD and he does Halo
Mhm.
sometimes.
So, and I think he's really found his groove with Valorant too, which is really cool.
Dude, he's like one of those guys that just could go to any sport.
Yeah.
It's like how at one time like Puckett was in or Overwatch and then he went back to COD. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like he's one of those people like Puckett, Mr. X, like people like that that just could go to any esports and just fit.
She right here, she is one of my favorite casters. Don't know her name, but she's always so like, how do I explain
Dude,
it? Like,
I don't even like I don't know who the woman is that I'm like thinking about, but she's a great caster.
yeah, she's really good. I like her as well. But the girl in the middle, the one that we just showed, the one with the blonde hair, she is like very analytical. Like she is probably one of the, if one of the best casters, as far as like people that go into the main desk and talk about the game. But she also like live casts the event as well. So like she kind of does both and she does them really, really well. Like as you can see, they've got like their notebooks and stuff like that, and they have a fun time. You know what I mean? There's like the stuffed animals and stuff. And then like if you look, there's like the stage behind them. Um, and like that kind of stuff. So I just really commend the Valorant, and Riot just in general, because like League of Legends, I mean, their esports is great too. Like I feel like Riot just knows how to do esports. Like, they just kill it every single time. And my internet's cutting out real quick. My apologies, guys. Um, school has been my school's internet today has been really funky, like different.
Great.
So it dropped out while I was in class. Um, so my apologies if stream cuts out at any point for the rest of it just did, but if it does again, I'm sorry. Um, I think it's reconnecting. All right. Well, I'm just gonna stop streaming and then restart. What do you mean cannot access my stream key? There we go. Period. We're back. We're back. Sorry, guys. Apologies. Um, school internet today's been not good. Which is not great because it's at school based on electronics. Everyone uses computers these days.
Yeah, and then they're
Um,
like, "Why can't you do your stuff? Because your internet sucks."
yeah, literally. Um, for a college that could have apparently we only use like half our bandwidth or whatever.
Yeah, they need to get Cornel on the internet. They need to get him to fix it.
They just need to get better. They just need to do better. Hashtag do better.
If they're
All
only
right.
using half their bandwidth, like that's criminal.
Yeah. I mean, we have a small campus too. Like you could definitely like if we're only using half of it, make the bandwidth better. Like make it better.
Dude, the internet at my college was great.
Mine sucks. It's not like it just it gets like overloaded so easily, especially on like certain parts of campus during certain times of the day. Like
It's because of the bandwidth. If they were using more bandwidth, that wouldn't happen.
yeah. I mean like at like 7 p.m. it sucks. Like 7, 8 o'clock, like it sucks. Like streaming, it's disconnecting, reconnecting all the time. And then like weekends, it's okay, I guess. But like when I lived on the other side of campus, I moved to the other side of campus this year. Last year, the dorm that I was living in, like we literally could not do our homework for certain times of the day because there were so many people just trying to do their homework. We had to like log on to like the guest internet and like or like use our hotspots. Like it was bad. So that was not fun. Anywho, um, enough about my college and their shitty internet. Um, Apex Legends. Well, we were gonna talk about that, but we got sidetracked by the amazingness of
Yeah,
Dead.
how good Valorant's like
Uh,
production is.
yeah. So there was an ALG event um this past weekend. So the Respawn put out a statement. So I'm gonna just read their statement and put it up on the screen, and we'll talk about it. On Sunday, a few professional Apex Legend player accounts were hacked during an ALGS event. Game and player security are our highest priorities, which is why we paused the competition to address the issue immediately. Our teams have deployed the first of a layered series of updates to protect the Apex Legends player community and create a secure experience for everyone. So, so there was these two hackers essentially that hacked the. I think they were like remotely hacking,
They
the
were
event.
like getting into players like PCs and giving
Yeah,
them cheats.
yeah.
Like, cause like Imperial Hall had like a name bot,
Mm-hmm. So the
and then he
name.
like had to leave, and there was somebody else who ended up getting wall hacks.
Mm-hmm. So so that I believe the names of the two were Destroyer 9000 and like random, but like instead of an AF4, they were the two people that are suspected of doing it. So they postponed the finals. I don't know when they're. I think they're trying to solve the issue before continuing, because like you don't want you want to preserve that competitive integrity. You don't want to give anyone a leg up, like especially like even if
We do not want this to happen on land. I
no,
mean, this was online, so this is a different scenario. Like, who knows if it would even happen on land? But
but
like, we do not want this to happen on land
no.
because if it happens on land, this is really rough.
But like it's just like and I think I've seen some people talk. I've been kind of like keeping tabs on it and seeing what people have been saying, and a lot of people are being like, what if this person is just like proving that's possible? And like because a big problem with a lot of games recently in Apex has kind of fallen victim to it is cheaters. um Cheaters have been in every game and they've been really bad and
It's really like
they're
I hate to say it, but like all of these console games that went over to PC, like they've had nothing but problems with cheaters since it went
yeah,
to PC, and it sucks
and like
because
cross
like PC is
platform.
technically the better platform to play on because everything's optimized better, the game runs better, and all that. But like I mean, cheaters are just like running rampant, and
Yeah,
like that never happened on console.
you know. And so it's sad to see. And these Nate Shot, I remember was talking about it. And I watch Jake Lucky on Gamer Update pretty religiously. That's how I get most of my news. Shout out Jake. um but um he would Nate Shah was talking about how like they're solving these problems that have been happening, but while they're trying to solve these problems, the hackers are still improving. They're still making different cheats and making going around different things in the game. So the anti cheat programs are just playing catch up at this point, and they're playing it so
Hmm.
slowly that it's just bad. And like again, the only game that's really doing it well is Valorant, because Valorant had
Yeah, the only thing about Valorant is like, and a lot of, I mean, personally, like I wouldn't care about this, but a lot of people do for like privacy reasons. But Valorant has like a super invasive anti-cheat system, but like it works.
and I so if you guys don't know, uh if you guys haven't been around like the gaming community or like the Valorant community since the beginning, so 100 Thieves actually was partnered with them back when before the game was even announced that it was Valorant. It was like Project X or something like that, or Project A. It's Project something.
I remember seeing like the first like
Like
gameplay of
yeah,
Valorant
and
when it was in like alpha
it
or
was
whatever.
done by 100 Thieves people, the creators and stuff. So pretty much so Nate Shot knows quite a bit about the game, so I kind of see
Mhm.
him as like a trusted source because he's been there since the beginning for of just this game in general. And he's a
Mhm.
CEO of a big company, so obviously he talks to the people and they have their little golf tournaments and talk their shit. uh so what he was saying is that the way that they built the anti-cheat was they built it from the bottom. So they built it before the game even came out, and what they did was they like attacked the system essentially and just kind of designed um not to solve problems but to prevent them, is the way that they designed the anti-cheat. um and it works. I mean, like the amount of times that like people will just get like banned mid game if you see them hacking, it'll automatically kick them out of the game just entirely. um so I mean, it's the thing though
I
is like
mean,
especially with
the
like
Valorant anti-cheat is so good it catches things that shouldn't even be caught.
yeah, like things that aren't even cheating, they're like that's a
Yeah,
little
like literally,
that's some
like
suspicious stuff.
I literally could not even when I got my Razer headphones like a couple years ago. I had Valorant installed because I played like 2 games with Tone one time,
Yep.
and the Valorant anti cheat was not allowing me to correctly use my headphones because it was not allowing the software to run.
Yep. Like the anti cheat is so good. It's just like,
Dude, like I never even thought of that. Like I remember like I emailed the Razer and they were like I was like, dude, my headphones literally don't work. Like I cannot get the software to do anything. Like I don't know what to do. And like one of their first things was, do you have Riot Vanguard installed? And I was like, what the how would this have anything to do with it? And I uninstalled it and boom, everything worked. I was like, wow.
well, at least they knew the problem. I mean, that's good at least. But yeah, so I mean, like and the fact that I feel like this is getting so bad. I feel like people are just kind of like proving that they can at this point. Like it's not that they want to cheat. It's like you either have to be able to play the game to be on like the same level as these cheaters, which is not the right thing to do. It just makes it worse. Or like you they're kind of just proving that they
I feel like the thing is like if you want to really get anti cheat, you just have to make it really invasive like that. And like it's a problem because like although it shouldn't be like a privacy risk, there are a lot
mm-hmm.
of people who are like very paranoid about privacy and stuff and wouldn't want something like that on their PC. But at the same time, it's like that's basically what you have to do for it to work. I mean,
Yep.
like, yeah, it's very invasive, and I've seen, although not many, I've seen some concerns raised about Valorant's anti-cheat being on your PC. I think at the end of the day, it's a risk worth taking because it works really well,
It works really
and
really
it's
well.
very effective.
It is like the amount of cheaters. I don't run into cheaters ever on Valorant. Like I feel like it's very rare. It's a very rare occurrence. I mean, I'm not very high level, so like yeah, you got to be pretty bad at cheating to be on my kind of skill based matchmaking level. But and like in my ranks, but
Dude,
even
that's
like
like why it's like you've never played Valorant before and you're in the same rank as me.
yeah, it's you got to be up in like the higher levels to actually like encounter them at all.
Either
Um,
that, like, or it'd be like a rogue cheater that's just like smurfing on a new account and just cheating his way up, and you play against him like one game and then you get banned a couple games later.
um, but it's like it's just better. And so I mean, Apex is just I gotta figure this out. I mean, every game's gotta figure this out. Call of Duty's gotta figure it out. It's affecting the gameplay there, especially in the rank scene. I mean, you see so many
Yeah,
people complaining and talking about it, and it's not.
dude,
I don't think
anybody
it should
that's
be.
above like diamond in COD
Yeah.
is just like it's like you never know when there's gonna be a cheater.
Yep.
Like you're worried every game.
There's so many just like FPS games that are dealing with this right now, and they're not like doing anything to fix it. I mean, I feel like the only reason why Valorant is successful with it right now, or kind of ahead in a way, is because they had this built into the system from the beginning. All these other games are just playing catch up. And that's not a game you can
Mhm.
play when it comes to the internet because things change daily.
Yeah,
New cheats, new hacks. By the time that they solve a problem, the cheaters have already moved on. They're already like, oh, we already figured out how to get around that and
hmm
do it again. And so it's just constant like downward cycle of just like the cheaters keep moving further and further and further ahead, and that's why it keeps getting worse and worse and worse is because these games are not investing enough when they first put out the game to prevent things like this. And it it seems you can see the proof. The proof is there. Like you can see, like if you put out, an answer sheet when you first put out the game, and you build it in a way to where it prevents and then also stops cheating. Like when it detects it, like it's proven successful. I mean, you're never really gonna like get rid of cheaters, but
yeah.
there comes a certain point where it's just like if there's so many of them, it ruins the experience. You know what I mean? Like, cause like if you run into a cheater every once in a while, you're like, oh my god, he's a cheater. What the fuck? But then like he gets banned or she gets banned. They get banned, and then you're like, okay, cool. and then you go back to playing your games, and then a couple months later maybe you run into another hacker. But like it's not a daily thing. Like this, it's a daily game after game after game thing. And these people have been playing. Like the problem with Call of Duty right now is like most of the top 250 is cheaters. Like
Yeah,
the pros and the challengers players are saying that like if you've never heard of them before, they're most likely a cheater,
yeah.
and that's a
I mean,
problem. Like that's a
and that's
real
bad
problem.
because when you're top 250, that's basically the only people you play against.
Yep. And so you're just consistently playing against these cheaters, and it also like kind of like ruins it for these other players and their recognition that they deserve. You mean being like, yo, I'm not top 250, there's not enough. I'm like, I keep getting there, oh, like so close, but then I keep falling short. Like imagine how like there's so many more. Like there's got to be at least like 100. Like I hear people saying there's at least 100 people on top 250 that are cheaters.
That does not surprise me.
So like imagine that's 100 other people that could get recognized for their ability, in the game. And I know ranked is different than competitive play in like, leagues and stuff like that, but it could be a
I
place for
mean,
people
people
to get
can get
discovered.
recognized off a rank. I mean,
Yeah, like it
like
could be a place for people to
Abizi is a
discover.
freaking Abizi's a 2-time champion in COD. And the reason that he got recognized and why he's on pro teams now is because he was the best player in World War II in ranked. He was solely playing ranked. And like the pros started running into him and they were like, oh my God, this guy's really good.
Mm. So like I mean it's ruining this opportunity for other players that are genuinely like good at the game. And I know like the challenges scene you can it's a little easier to bust into with how like, you know, but you got to know people. You got to go out there and you got to like be like, "Hey yo, can you hook me up?"
Yeah, but the
and
problem is there's also a lot of cheaters and challengers.
yeah, there is also a lot of cheaters and challengers. So it's just like a lose-lose
Like,
situation
yeah,
at this
it's
point.
like you either play ranked against a bunch of cheaters or you play challengers. And when when you're on a not so great team, you could get like slammed by a cheater that's like
Mm.
bringing this team really far up the ranks.
Yep. So it really is a problem that it needs to be addressed in just across gaming in general. I feel like at this point,
Yeah.
especially with like
I mean,
it,
especially esports, but there's other games that have cheaters that don't really have
mm,
an esports scene.
I mean, like people are like, well, why, why is it such a big problem now? I mean, personally speaking, I feel like
I think it was COVID.
I think it was the
I think the period around COVID time gave people way too much time on their hands, and now there's a lot of cheaters. Because if you notice, like PC games, even though COD wasn't really on PC at that point, like a lot of PC games didn't have nearly as many cheaters until COVID. And then
that's
after COVID, it's just skyrocketed.
yeah. I feel like another factor though is like the fact that like cross-platform is a thing now.
Yeah,
Because
crossplay is like the greatest
it's
thing and
like
the worst thing ever at
yeah,
the same
because it's
time.
like a necessity for most games now is to have cross-platform, especially just like just overall like just to have cross-platform to be able to play
Yeah.
with a multitude different people. And
But
I
yeah, because now
feel
so many
like
games have it. That's like a game doesn't have it. And it's like, oh God, you're a dinosaur of a game.
yeah,
You
literally
need to like step it up.
get with the program. Um, but so like it's kind of like a necessity to have cross-platform now, so that also enables like a lot more people to play on PC and play with their friends, because before you would have a PC but you would have a PlayStation to play with your friends or an Xbox to play with your friends, but now you can play with your friends on PC. And then you get the PC and then they make these cheats easily buyable. You can do like
Yeah.
free trials, you can just like buy
Dude,
them
like
for
they
like
have
a
free
week.
trials and like a lot of these cheats, like Wyatt was looking them up because like we faced a cheater and Wyatt was looking the stuff up when cheating was like becoming really big in COD. There was like some cheat websites where you can pay like $5 to just try it for like a week.
Yep. They have like trials for these cheats, to see if you like them. It's like, are you winning with this cheat? Who knows? You pay $5 and you'll see. And then people will get that serotonin and whatever from cheating, and they're like, okay, well I'm gonna buy
Mhm.
the rest of it now.
Dude, and the worst part is like with cheats is like it's not always blatant cheaters either,
Nope.
especially in COD. I think people have in COD have mastered making very subtle cheats. Like there are some cheats where it's like, oh, you could tell. But there's some people that only have like a soft aimbot that just helps them
Mm,
hit every bullet or snap
yeah,
onto somebody. And it
or
doesn't
like
even
help get
look that
headshots.
sus.
Yeah.
Like if you weren't somebody that like was either so good at the game that they understood whether they were cheating or not, or if you didn't see it and there wasn't something that happened that was blatantly evident, like you wouldn't know.
Yep. So they're just like the soft cheats are like I think
The
what's
soft
doing it.
cheats are probably the hardest to catch because
Mhm.
like there's stuff like that where people just have soft aimbot or it's like it just helps you hit more shots
Mhm.
instead of just locking onto
Well,
people.
that's where like like the Riot Vanguard comes into play because
Yeah.
it detects those things in your system. It doesn't
Yeah,
detect
Riot
them in
would
your
get that
gameplay.
immediately.
Yeah, like that's why that those things don't exist in Valorant, or if they do exist, they're very
Well,
um
and that's the thing about like cheating and like other games like COD is like because they don't have a super invasive anti-cheat like that. Some people could run a dual PC setup where they run the game on one PC and the cheats on the other PC. And because the cheats are on the other PC that's not running the game has no idea.
yep. And it's just this whole like rabbit hole of just like different things that you have to look out for as a game developer. I mean, luckily right now we're playing Deception. I've been playing a lot of Farlight, which is kind of like it's a new game to PC. It was a mobile game, so like there's not a lot of I don't think I've actually run into any hackers. I mean, we're also not in like the highest ranks yet,
I
but
wouldn't
like
say I've ran into any
I
blatant
don't
cheaters.
yeah, I don't think I ran into any either.
There's been like
And
a couple times when things have been weird, but I've played the game enough to know that that probably wasn't a cheater.
yeah, but it's also one of those games too. It's like yeah, it's like it's always ranked, right? But like um it's not like you're getting slammed
Like the
every
ranked is
game.
like baked into pubs.
Yeah. And you're not getting slammed every game though either. Like if you do really really well one game uh like you're not going to get absolutely murdered the next game because like that's how
Yeah.
it is in COD. Like if you do really really well for a game, your next game you're going to get like for the next few games you're just going to get
Yeah,
bodied
if you get a
consistently.
PR like one game, you know the next like 10 games are gonna be horrible.
Yeah, but
Like
like in I mean, we can when we're hot, like we get like multiple wins. Like the other day we had like a 3 winning streak and then we died. And
yeah,
then
it's like
we
in
won the next
Farlight, it's
game.
like you'll have like maybe 1 or 2 games in a row that'll go pretty bad, but then like the next game is almost guaranteed to be a win.
And usually like my first game on is like a guaranteed win. Like and that's just because like I am playing on controller and I am a veteran VR player, right? Playing against people that have been playing on mobile, and but it's on PC now, so it's also cross platform because you got to be cross platform in today's day and age. But at the same time, like I'm not even one of the top players. Like I'm not even in like the top ranks yet. Like I'm in. I think my highest is like diamond. Like Deception's the highest rank is ace, but like
You're still ahead of like 90% of the player base
95. I think
though.
it's 95% of the player base that I'm ahead of.
Yeah, because for me it's like 95, 96.
Yeah. So like most of the player base is down below in those lower levels.
Oh, you want to know another thing too?
Hmm.
This whole like cheating thing is like this whole cheating thing could be a extremely valid reason to why X Defiant might not release this month,
Probably. I
and
mean, they're
why
probably trying to solve
like
it.
I don't think a lot of people have talked about that enough, but like
Hmm.
they've been trying. They haven't really been criticized because nobody really knows. Like I never really faced a cheater when I was playing the sessions in X Defiant when they were open and all that, but apparently they were going to try to use Rainbow Six's anti cheat,
Hmm.
um, which I've heard mixed things about that. Like I've heard some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. I don't know. I
I don't
haven't.
know either.
The thing is, I haven't heard a lot of prominent like people talking about it being bad. So I don't know. I don't know if people just biased or what. But like
I feel like it was.
this
Oh.
whole cheating thing could be a valid reason to why X Defiant
Hmm.
is is halted a little bit. Maybe they're trying to make sure that this doesn't happen at launch.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be one of those things. I mean, it's very difficult for teams now. Um, to not like development teams to put out these games because it's something that they have to keep in mind because it's so bad. It's so bad right now. Because people now that they're like, oh, it's so easy to cheat, I'm not gonna get caught, and like they just don't care. They don't have that conscience. But I'm gonna move us along off this conversation because we are been talking for almost an hour and we still have to talk about CDL Major 2. That's happening this weekend. We're just gonna do a quick little overview, some storyline stuff, and then some predictions. I'm gonna let Deception take the lead again on this one because he's the CDL guy that we got here. When it comes to Valorant, I got you. But
Everything else, it's like that's
yeah,
me.
that's Deception. Yeah. And Pokemon Unite, man, I started following that.
Do they have like an esports scene? Or are they gonna
They
try to
do.
make esports
Yeah.
work on that?
They have a pretty decent esports scene going on right now, actually.
That's
Funny
interesting.
enough, yeah. They have
Because we
the
haven't talked about the game in a minute.
AOS Cup coming up. Uh um it's like groups of it's two predetermined teams already, and then there's an open bracket. And the
Ah,
top 8 seeds plays in the group stage. It's pretty good. Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing?
it's pretty lit.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a pretty good. It's a big scene. Like,
They're gonna
um,
turn into a bear.
yeah. Um, they're doing March
I
stuff
love
right
an if.
now, but that's what's up, guys. Anyway,
Yeah, so we gotta talk about CDL and do predictions
yeah.
because that'll
So
take probably 20 minutes.
yep. Okay. So, what I did since last time was I made this beautiful bracket, so I didn't have to write it down. Um, because smart, good stuff on
Yeah,
me for that one. Um, so pretty much, it's like we just write the team, and then we write how much, and then yeah, it's just like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, and then we've got a winners bracket, and then we've got a losers bracket, as well. Hold on, I'm just trying to like finish it off. Okay, so anyway, we'll start doing this while I figure out what the fuck I'm doing with the rest of it. Anyway, so the uh first round is the Optic versus Heretics. Um so Deception, what are we thinking here for
Optic
this one?
3.
Optic 3-0. All right. It's pretty
Heretics
good.
have been in a sad state.
Yeah, they have.
I don't think they're gonna get much done this event.
So Optic will be moving forward in the winners bracket, and then that'll bring Heretics down. Okay, and then we have Ultra versus Legion. Sorry,
Ultra 3-1. I think Legion probably take the S&D, but Ultra are too good in respawn.
Ultra 3-1. Okay.
Legion are just really good at S&D. Like they if they can't do anything else, they're gonna take the S&D off people.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have Subliners versus Boston Breach.
This is gonna be. I mean, Breach are not the greatest team, but I do think it goes game 5. But Subliners probably win 3-2.
Where's my bracket from? I had a bracket. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I just was pulling up the bracket to actually get like.
I don't know, with the way Subliners have been so inconsistent, I could see Breach taking them in game 5, but I think Subliners would beat them.
So, you want to do like 3-2?
Yeah,
All right, and then we have um FaZe versus Thieves.
3-0.
3-0.
Thieves have also not
Yeah.
been that great.
Oh, I mean, like they're getting carried by Ghosty right now. Like it's kind of sad.
They always get carried by Ghosty.
That's fair. All
They've
right.
been getting carried by Ghosty.
Alrighty. And then so in losers round 1, we will have Heretics versus Royal Ravens. Which I think is so weird that they kept their like name like that, because I just
Yeah, why did they keep the royal
like it
part when
doesn't
they're
make
in
any it
friggin'
doesn't make
Charlotte?
like it
Charlotte
doesn't
is
make any sense.
not.
Like at that point, just put the
Charlotte is
Confederate
not
flag on your fucking thing. Like,
a city that would be considered royal. I mean,
no.
maybe for NASCAR they're considered royal because that's like where everything happens in NASCAR. But like, this is not NASCAR. This is a
No.
CDL.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean that's the weird part though. Is like Legion have kept their logo, but they're in Vegas now, so it's like
I don't even know. It's it doesn't make any sense. They really
uh,
played into the country that they were in, and then they just fucking
yeah.
moved to the U.S. and we're like, oh, we're just gonna keep the logo. Too lazy to make a new one. The only ones that actually made a new one were the Heretics, but that's just because they changed names. Anyway, so we have the first round in losers is Heretics versus Royal Ravens. So what are
um,
we thinking here?
I'm thinking it might not last super long, but I'm thinking we try to make another
Raven
London or Carolina run. I think Ravens win. It'll probably be like I'm gonna say like 3-1.
3-1.
I don't know with how inconsistent the Ravens are. I feel like Heretics could probably take one off of them,
Mm,
but still think Ravens win. Heretics are just so bad. I just don't see them getting a serious win.
fair enough. All right, and
Like
then
they
we
did
have
horrible this stage.
yeah. I mean, I know it's their home, court, but
It's their home event, but it's like I don't know. Like home events don't seem to help you in COD because 90% of the fans are Optic fans.
yeah.
So
So the only home event that actually helps is the Optic home event. So
the only home events that would help is if there was a phase event or a LA event.
yeah.
And the LA event would only help the thieves.
Um. Okay. And then next we have Legion versus Surge.
I think Legion win that one.
Legion win.
I think that's like I think it's probably a 3-0.
Rio.
Um
Oh yeah, the Surge has been kind
I
of playing
just
like crap lately.
Surge are so lost. Like Heretics are bad, but Surge are on another level. They were so lost. Like
Hmm.
I don't know
Is
what
there a
Surge are
spell
doing
out?
anymore. Like there have been like, and people have called them out for it, but there were a couple situations this stage in control, especially on
Mm-hmm.
high rise, where Surge literally would just stand there for like 15 seconds and not know what to do.
They just need to get their like ducks in a row.
They are lost.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they can make something happen. I mean, it's gonna be one of those things. We're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. Again,
I
um,
mean, who knows? They might show up at land. I mean,
they
they got
might.
our cities and Hook. They're very good, but
Hmm.
I mean, this team is just I don't know.
It's something. It's something for sure. And then next we have Breach versus Rocker.
Ooh,
That's
this is
gonna be
hard.
yeah, cause like Breach has been doing pretty well, and so is
This
Rocker.
is
Like
hard because a Breach and Rocker are basically like the same, like a
yeah.
level of
So I
team.
feel like if we're gonna go wrong in this first round, I feel like this is probably one of those ones that we're just gonna have to guess and hope for the best, cause last time we didn't do that bad. Like most of our wronging things were me
Big
not
bracket
knowing how
bust with
brackets were.
subliners getting smoked out of the
Yeah,
event.
yeah. That and heretics getting smoked out early.
Yeah, we got the London run though. That made me feel good.
We did. We did for sure. Uh,
We predicted that. That felt really nice, even if the bracket didn't look the greatest after that.
we tried. We tried. Our winners bracket was great though. There was only one thing wrong in the winners bracket.
Our winners bracket, like subliners, busted it a little bit, but the rest of it was pretty good.
Yeah, we only had one thing that was wrong. So, um, like two things that were wrong, but winner being one of them. We thought Face was gonna win it, but we were wrong. We were wrong.
True.
Anyway, so Breach versus Rocker. I think is Breach the one that picked up a sim?
Yeah.
I want to go with Breach for the dub on it for the win on this.
Yeah, I was thinking Breach too.
But I
They
think it's
plus
gonna
they have Slasher, and Slasher's a
yeah.
menace on
But I
land.
but I think it's gonna be a close one though. Like I think it's gonna be a
I think
3-2.
it, yeah, I think it's Breach 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
This will be, believe it or not, because they're two pretty mid teams. That'll be a banger
Oh yeah,
series.
that
Like I
if
think that'll be one of the better series of the event
like
up until grand
if
finals.
we go to like round 11, like I feel like that would be good. That'd be really good.
That'll like be the sleeper series of the event. That'll be the one that like probably not a lot of people watch because it's like a loser series and like
Yeah.
it's a Breach versus Rocker. But if you watch it, you'll probably be in for a
Yeah.
treat if you watch that series.
All right, and then we have Thieves versus Gorillas. I don't know. Like I want to say Thieves because they've been doing like better, since their roster change. And Gorillas have just kind of been like meh, you know?
Hmm.
Like I
See, I'm
that's what I
tempted
want
to
to
go
see.
LAG because I think they could do like some crazy, like weird thing that throws Thieves off because that's what they did to FaZe. They won their only league match of the split against FaZe because they were just doing some really weird stuff that FaZe didn't counter. But I don't know if it would work on LAN.
I don't know if it would work either.
I feel like they just probably win 3-1. Gorillas might take the
3-1.
S&D because they're another good S&D team.
All
But
right, all right, all right. Can I fucking spell, please? Thank you. Wait, why is it? I'm spelling thieves wrong. The I's and the E's, man, they get me every time. All right, all right. Now on to round two. We'll start out with the winners bracket. We have Optic versus Ultra. Um, I mean, I want to say, Optic's kind of like been kind of turning up this last few these last few weekends, like especially this
yeah,
past
they went
weekend.
7-0.
Yeah, I mean they've
I
been.
mean, they
I
killed it.
I want to say they win, but I think it's gonna be a close one. I think it's gonna be like that Rocker series. Um, you know.
Yeah, I'll take Optic 3-2 because they won 3-2 in the they won 3-2 in their league match against Ultra,
Mhm.
and the only reason why it was 3-2 is because they didn't win the game one hard point. They won the control. They didn't win the hard points. Which is crazy because like Optic are insane at our hard point, but they put up a good fight. Like they definitely didn't get slammed. So I mean, if they can win a hard point, they can take our hard point off of Ultra. That might be a 3-1.
Mhm.
I'm still going 3-2 just because part of me wants to really see a game five. But I'm telling you, they take a hard point. I think it'd be a 3-1 or even a 3-0.
It might be. But we'll have to once again wait and see. Unfortunately. So Optic moving forward on that. Then we have Subliners versus FaZe. I don't know. I mean, like FaZe is.
I'm gonna face 3-1.
You're gonna go FaZe 3-1.
Subliners is just like they're a good team. Like they are definitely worthy of top four, but they have not been playing nearly as well as the other three teams.
All right. I just want to point this out. Our winners finals is the same as it was.
Well, hey, I mean, somebody out of the top four is gonna make it. I
Oh,
mean,
actually, our winners finals last major was FaZe versus Ultra.
yeah,
So, but we usually do have FaZe and Optic against each other at least once in these. So, um,
that seems to happen a lot
yeah,
nowadays since they're on par with each other
yeah.
basically.
Um, I just gotta drag some things over. Doop. Okay. All right, and then we'll do the rest of the losers bracket real quick. Okay, so then we have Ravens versus is the Legion.
Hmm.
So what are we thinking there?
Uh, I would say Legion 3-2.
Legion 3-2.
I don't know. I feel like Ravens are so inconsistent that like this series could go anyway. But like Legion are so good at S&D that if they
Did
force a
it
game
again.
five, they probably win.
Did it again, dude. Keep pressing the wrong buttons. All right, and then we have Breach versus Thieves.
Hmm. I feel like that'll probably be Breach 3-1
Beach 3-1. I said beach.
because I just Phase are just or Thieves are just not that like it's so hard for Thieves because like they're basically getting carried by Ghosty. It's like if Ghosty does well, they could beat Breach. If he doesn't do the ultimate carry job that he needs to, they'll get smoked.
Mm-hmm.
like like it's basically all down to Ghosty, which I guess that speaks on how impactful of a player he is, but like at the same time, like everybody else is just not competing with him. So it's like if he doesn't do well, they don't do well.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Uh,
what are we? Because we have, and then next we have Subliners versus Legion.
dude, it's crazy to even think that that Legion got this far,
I
but
know.
I do think they can.
I think they can too. I think they
Um,
just need to like try.
I do think they can.
I think Subliners is gonna take
They
the
actually
series though.
started this split off really hot. They just didn't finish it
No.
that great.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a subliner. I think it's gonna be a subliners win. I feel like. I feel like they're gonna get pissed off that they're in the bracket
If it's
and
subliners, it'll probably be a 3-1
three
because I
one.
think if Legion take them to game 5, the Legion could win. But subliners are good at respawn, so
Mm-hmm. All right, and then we have Breach versus Ultra. I think Ultra's gonna take it mainly because Ultra's been hot. You know, they've been
yeah,
good.
Ultra will probably cruise through that one.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think it'd be a 3-0 or 3-1?
Probably be a 3-0.
3-0.
Breach are just not consistent enough, I think, to
Mm-hmm.
play to beat Ultra in a map.
Yeah.
Um, and plus Ultra will be mad because they got beaten by Optic, so
Yeah.
they'll be hot
They'll
going
be
into
like,
that one.
they'll be hyped
They
up.
will be ready.
All right, and then for losers round 4, we have Subliners versus Ultra. I don't know, man. Like I feel like they're pretty even kind of.
Subliners Ultra, I think Ultra 3-1.
You think Ultra 3-1?
Ultra are just so good. I don't see Ultra getting lower than top 3.
Did it again, man. I keep fucking using the things that I'm not supposed to be using. Don't touch, Tone. Don't touch. You said 3-1. All right.
3-1.
So then Ultra move on, and then back to winners bracket here for a second. We have Optic versus Phase. What are we thinking? I think I personally we had FaZe winning the entire series, but the fact that they lost to Gorillas kind of has me like wondering like
I don't think that's like a super. I don't think that's like super indicative of what's gonna happen,
I
but
don't know.
it would be a good time for people to capitalize on phase. But I feel like this late in the event, it's not really gonna matter.
Mm,
Although the way that everybody's been playing on Optic, I do think they beat phase because they are
yeah.
just they're like Ultra from last
I feel like it's going to be
split.
I feel like it's going to be a good series though. Like
I'd say 3-2, but
yeah.
Optic are so good at S&D right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we'll put Optic in the grand finals here. So that puts
Optic are
Ultra.
so good at S&D. Like Optic only took like they only lost one round in the entire 2 games of S&D they played against Ultra. Like they are insane at S&D
Mhm.
right now.
Um. Okay, and then so we have the losers finals, which is FaZe versus Ultra.
I think Ultra win that one.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a 3-2, but I do think Ultra win that one.
Alrighty. So then we have an Optic versus Ultra for our grand finals.
This is big.
This is gonna
Optic
be
Ultra and grand finals.
yeah.
This
This
will
is gonna
be
be
this would
good.
be insane if
This
this
is gonna be
happened.
a good match if this happens for sure. I mean, I don't know, man.
Dude,
Like,
this is hard because like this is a 7-game series.
hmm.
This is hard.
Especially like Ultra coming up. Like Ultra has to be Optic twice.
Yeah, Ultra is coming off of playing losers final, so they do have a little bit of momentum at that point.
Yeah. But they do have to be Optic twice, and I don't know. I feel like if they, I mean, it depends on like their mentality at this point. I feel like that's one of the defining factors for Optic is like their mentality going into this thing because if it's chalked for them, you know. Except for the Rocker
Mm,
series, I don't even think they understand how they won that either though. Cause they
yeah.
don't. I want to say Optic mainly because Ultra kind of already won a series
Well, they
in
Optic already beat Ultra in a league match. I mean,
yeah.
obviously LAN is different, but I mean, Optic. If Optic beat them in the way that we're predicting, that's 2 Optic series where they beat Ultra. So like Optic has their number at that point.
Yeah. And honestly, like I want to see Optic win mainly because Ultra already won the first major, so like, you know, it'd be nice to see another team, but we could have a dominant fashion like we did back in MW with the phase where they were winning
Well, I
everything.
mean, it looks like I mean, Optic looks like Ultra last split. Ultra were just different. They were
Yeah.
just on another tier above everybody else, and
Yep.
right now that looks like where Optic is.
All right, so we're gonna have so it's a best of 7, right? So it's gonna be like
I think Optic wins 4-2.
4-2.
I think it goes all the way to 6 games. I think it's 4-2.
All right, all right. So that makes Optic our winner. Look at that bracket. See, isn't it? This is so much better than writing it out. This is so much better than writing it out because then I can like copy and paste it.
You need to
And
send me this so I can keep track of it and
yeah,
see if we're right or not.
yeah, I will. Hold on. Ooh, I'm not gonna do that live on stream. Hold on. I'll do that after podcast. Anyway, so yeah, that's our bracket. We have Optic winning. I feel like there's gonna be some good games. I feel like this weekend. I think. I hope actually. I hope there's some good games.
I think there'll be some good games, especially like when it comes down to like past the first couple rounds.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, but who knows? There could be an upset. I mean,
Yeah.
last time Subliners got absolutely smoked out of the event, and that was shocking.
Mhm. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it looks like Subliners is gonna make a run. Legion makes a run. Optic, stays in winners bracket and wins. That's our hope and our pray. But yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Climb Together podcast. This has been episode number 71. We really appreciate you guys being here. I know it was kind of a grueler today. We really talked about a lot of different things in esports, but there are things that need to be talked about, and we wanted to talk about them. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys follow the streams. We stream this live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. EST live on Twitch. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys are watching this on YouTube. The podcast goes live at 4 p.m. Later on the day that we film in the data later the day that we stream the podcast goes live at 4 p.m. EST, which is approximately less than 3 hours from now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Deception say bye.
Bye.
See you guys next time. Peace.